How's it going, everybody? It is me, Ryan, here, back again, bringing you another NHL 14 Hockey Ultimate Team tips and tricks video. So this time, we are talking about affordable superstars. So in this, I'm going to be comparing players with very high-end stats, very expensive players, to players that are cheaper, but play similarly. So the first player we are comparing is Steven Stamkos, and he's going to be compared to Mike Camilleri. So you can see here there is a bit of a stat difference, obviously 5 overall, but when you're comparing a player like Steven Stamkos to anyone else, he's way over the top, right? So look at the stats here, and they are pretty similar, the important ones. Skating, both 88. Shot, obviously the shot's a bit less, but who compares really to Stamkos' shot? And defensively, they're pretty similar. So the good thing about Mike Camilleri is he does actually have 5 overall better faceoffs than Steven Stamkos. However, I would play both of these guys on the wing. I feel that's where they're best suited. Camilleri is a bit smaller than Steven Stamkos, but they're still a very similar card, and for the price difference, definitely affordable. Alright, next up, Patrick Kane and Nicklas Backstrom. So, Patty Kane's one of those players that you can't really compare anyone to specifically, but Nicklas Backstrom is pretty close. Backstrom pretty much just takes a -2 to all stats, and that's not terrible, right? The price difference is almost 270,000, I would say, so it's definitely an affordable superstar. Next up is Phil Kessel and Alexander Semin. So these two cards are actually very similar. Semin is a lot cheaper than Kessel, though. There's probably about a 70k price difference at least, so it's definitely a cheaper pickup, and as you can see, the stats are almost exactly the same. Neither are very good defensively, but as a sniper role, you just gotta go up and get those goals. Next up, we have good old John Tavares and Thomas Vanek. So these cards are extremely similar, and once again, the price is pretty outstanding, the difference. So Tavares usually goes for about 100k, Vanek more or less 20. So you're saving 80,000 pucks, and look at the stats here. They are almost the same player. Go pick up Vanek, save your pucks. Here we have Zach Parise and Martin St. Louis. So these cards are quite a bit different, but they are very similar in some ways. As you can see, stat-wise, they're actually quite close. Parise is much more expensive than Martin St. Louis. St. Louis usually goes for about 20k, so you're saving a lot of pucks if you pick him up. Go pick up a good old Canadian boy. Now, on this one, you're going to be saving a lot of pucks, alright? So, here we have PK Subban and Tyler Myers. And as you can see by the stats, they are very similar offensively, and Myers is actually better defensively. So, the stats here, like I said, very similar. Price difference, you're going to be saving about 65,000. Myers usually goes for about 20k, Subban for around 85, and like, Myers actually looks like almost the better defenseman here. Go try him out. Here you have almost the same defenseman. Look at these stats, alright? Kevin Shattenkirk and Chris Letang. Letang goes for around 90,000 pucks. Shattenkirk for around 6,000. The stats speak for themselves. What else can I say? Here we have Shea and Victor Hedman. Obviously, Weber's one of those defensemen that you can really almost compare nobody to other than big guys like Chara, who might even be better than him. But here we have a pretty cheap comparison. Victor Hedman, who goes for around 3,000 pucks. Or you can get Shea Weber, who goes in the hundreds of thousands. Alright? So the stats here are pretty similar. Obviously, Weber is the better stay-at-home defenseman and has that offensive touch also. Like I said, though, you can't really compare him to anyone specifically, so this is the best we could do, and Hedman is absolutely great. Like, you gotta try him out. Here's Erik Karlsson and Star of the Week, Keith Yandle. So, here you can see Keith Yandle actually has the better card, I would say. Obviously, Karlsson, we use him for his offensive talents, but Yandle really has the better offensive card as well. The only difference is deking, but really, does that matter too much as a defenseman? You can argue that, but really, I think Keith Yandle is the better defenseman for this situation, and they are very similar cards, as you can see. Finally, we have Alex Pietrangelo and Andre Mazzaro's Hut Live. So, these cards, like I said, man, very similar. Only real difference is deking. Other than that, Mazzaros might have the better card, realistically. Only difference, one goes for 10k, one goes for 200. Which one's better? Your choice, but one is definitely way more affordable than the other. So this wraps up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below and let me know who some of your affordable superstars are. Obviously, there's other players that I like and I personally like that don't really compare to others, and I'll probably have a video out on that soon. But stay tuned for more videos. Please leave a like if you could, if you enjoyed it. And that's all for now, guys. We will see you next time.